An 8-day diplomatic marathon, 5 countries, 3 continents. On the surface, it's about friendship. But if we look closer and a new map of global power begins to emerge, is this a quiet rebellion against a world order dominated by the West and China? Today we decode the southern axis. Hello, you are with me, Mousumi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in the midst of his longest continuous foreign tour in a decade. The destinations are not the usual G7 capitals, but a carefully curated list from the global south: Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, Argentina, Brazil and Namibia. The official line is about strengthening friendships, of course, but the strategic undercurrents tell a more complex story. A story of ambition, of creating alternatives and of positioning India as the leading voice for nations long caught in the crossfire of superpower rivalries. Is this just idealism or the most pragmatic foreign policy move of our time? Let us try to understand the strategic arc of this tour. And to understand this tour, you have to see it not as 5 separate visits, but as 3 strategic moves. First, the Americas pivot. The stops in Argentina and Brazil are about cementing India's place at the high table in Latin America. In Buenos Aires, it's a play for food and energy security. Argentina is a world leader in soybean oil and has vast lithium reserves critical for India's green energy future. With President Milei's government looking for new reliable economic partners, India arrives not as a donor but as a buyer and co-investor. Then at the BRICS summit in Brazil, the message gets amplified. This isn't just a meeting, it's a demonstration. Alongside Brazil, India is pushing for a world order that doesn't run solely through Washington or Beijing. They are building the architecture of a multipolar world in real time. The second move is the Atlantic Bridge. The visits to Ghana and Trinidad and Tobago are deeply strategic. In Ghana, a stable democracy and gateway to West Africa, India is offering partnerships in digital infrastructure, pharmaceuticals and defense cooperation. It's a chance to build a presence in a region vital for maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea. Across the ocean in Trinidad, it's about leveraging a powerful shared history. With nearly half its population of Indian origin, this isn't just diplomacy, it's family. This cultural capital gives India a unique foothold in the Caribbean, building a bridge of influence that spans the Atlantic. Finally, there's the resource connection in Namibia. This is about powering India's future. Namibia is a key potential supplier of uranium for India's nuclear power plants. But it's a symbolism that's just as powerful. India's famous cheetah diplomacy, if you have heard, which saw the reintroduction of cheetahs to India from Namibia, is a powerful metaphor for this relationship. A partnership of equals, focused on restoring natural balance, not just extracting resources. Now, the question everyone is asking is, why this intense focus right now? Because there is a vacuum, and India is stepping into it. The West is preoccupied with conflicts in Europe and its own internal politics. At the same time, many nations in the global south are growing wary of China's Belt and Road model, which has often led to unsustainable debt. This is where India presents a clear alternative. It's not about checkbook diplomacy. India's model is capacity building. Instead of just building a port, India offers to share the technology for digital payments like its UPI system. It provides lines of credit for projects identified by the host country, not imposed from outside. It's a partnership model that resonates with nations fiercely protective of their sovereignty. New Delhi is calling it the Vishwa Bandhu, or friend to the world approach. So, is this a direct challenge to China's influence? Or is it a contrast or a confrontation where China offers overwhelming scale, India offers sustainable scale? It's a contrast. Where Chinese projects often come with opaque conditions, India's partnerships are rooted in shared democratic values and transparency. For a developing nation, the choice is becoming clearer. A creditor who might become a master, or a partner who helps you stand on your own feet. This entire trip is a masterclass in showcasing that choice. So as we watch Prime Minister Modi move from continent to continent, the real story isn't just the handshakes and the trade deals. It's about the central questions this journey forces us to ask. In a world splintering into rigid blocks, can a coalition of the in-between create a new center of gravity? Is this tour just a collection of friendly visits, or are we witnessing the quiet construction of a new, more balanced world order led not by the old superpowers but by the collective will of the global south? India is betting its diplomatic capital, and for many nations around the world, that bet could be their best hope for the future. That's all for today. For more deep insights, keep watching The Global Eye.